Welcome to a new episode.
Right, picture this. You're standing on a building site, it's early morning, there's a bit of frost on the ground, someone's walked past with a pair of pliers, a torch and a roll of PTFE stuffed in their back pocket. They look confident. They know exactly what they're doing, they know the systems, the regulations, the tools, the science behind why hot water rises and cold water drops. They've got the knowledge, the hands and the paperwork to prove it. That could be you. And if you're listening to this, you're already on the right road. Welcome back to the Copper Connection podcast with me, as always, your host, Chris Bailey. And today we're kicking things off with something I generally wished someone had explained to me in plain English right at the beginning of my journey. A proper overview of the new 9289 Sitting Girls Level 3 Diploma in Plumbing and Domestic Heating. Whether you're just enrolled, part way through, or a tutor trying to help learners make sense of the bigger picture, this episode is for you.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
So let's start at the very beginning. What actually is the 9289? The 9289 is a level 3 diploma, and that word diploma matters. This isn't a short course. This isn't a tick box exercise. This is a full structured qualification that covers everything from health and safety law to cold water systems, central heating systems to services and maintenance, and even into the specialist areas like gas, environmental technologies and non-domestic plumbing. It's built around the Plumbing and Domestic Heating Technician Level 3 Apprenticeship Standard. That's STO 303 for the people who like knowing the reference numbers. What that means practically is that the qualification is the on-programme learning that sits underneath the apprenticeship. It's designed to reflect what the industry actually needs. It was developed with employers. It's built for the real world. Now, there are 3 qualification routes under the 9289 umbrella. First one is the gas pathway. Second is the environmental technologies pathway, covering air source heat pumps and solar thermal, and the non-domestic plumbing pathway. You will choose one of these specialist routes, but here's the thing. No matter which specialist pathway you take, the first 3 phases are identical. You do all the same core content. Every one of you, gas, environmental tech and non-domestic, is learning the same foundations. The specialism comes in at phase 4. So let's talk about the structure, because once you understand how the qualification is laid out, everything else starts to make sense. The 9289 is split into 4 phases. Phase 1, 2 and 3 are your core content, and phase 4 is your specialist pathway. And roughly speaking, each phase aligns to a year of your apprenticeship. Phase 1 at the end of year 1, phase 2 at the end of year 2, phase 3 at the end of year 3, and phase 4 at the end of year 4. So what's being assessed in each phase? Well, it's a combination of multiple choice exams delivered on screen through their Sitting Girls Evolve system, practical assessments, which is hands-on work done in a workshop or on site, and a work log. Your portfolio of evidence, building through a work log, your portfolio of evidence building through phases 1 to 3, and a separate one for phase 4. That work log, the portfolio, is something I want to come back to a few times today, because learners can consistently underestimate how important it is. It's not an afterthought, it's evidence of your competence in the actual workplace. It runs across Unit 317 for the core phases and then into the 3. Phase 4, dependent on your pathway. That document is your proof. Keep it updated. Do not leave it to the last minute. Now, I want to give you a sense of the units you're going to be covering. The core units, the ones every learner does, regardless of pathway. So we have Unit 301, Health and Safety Systems. This comes first for a reason. Before you touch your tool, before you start a job, you need to understand how to keep yourself and other people safe. Kosh, pure, working at heights, asbestos awareness, fire and triangle, evacuations, it's all in there. Then we move on to Unit 302, which is common installation processes and techniques. We look at pipe materials, jointing methods with compression, push fit, capillary, press fit, how to bend copper and plastic pipes, how to support pipework correctly, and how to prep a site and protect the customer's home. Then we'll move into Unit 303, which is scientific principles. Please don't switch off here. This is the stuff that makes you understand plumbing rather than just copying it. Units of measurements, properties of materials, heat transfers, pressures and force, electricity basics, Boyle's law, Charles' law. Once you understand why water behaves the way it does under pressure, everything else will click. Then we move into Unit 304, planning and supervision. The construction team, communication, responsibilities, risk assessments, method statements, and work programs. This is where you start thinking like a professional, not just a tradesperson. Then we have Unit 305, cold water treatment and routing. This is where we look at the rainwater cycle, main supplies, treatment processes, the different fluid categories, and water regulations. 306 is where we start looking at system layouts, recognising cold, hot water, central heating, and sanitary and rainwater system layouts in dwellings. Then Unit 307 is plumbing and domestic central heating systems, one of the biggest units, cold water, hot water, central heating, sanitation, appliances, and pipework, rainwater systems installations. Then throughout of your phases, the decommissioning, testing, commissioning and handover, fault diagnosis, service and maintenance, sizing and selection, environmental technology systems, domestic fuel systems, and electrical worker controls.
Follow us where you get your podcasts from.
That might sound a lot, and it is a lot, but here's how I want you to think about it. Every single one of those units represents a skill that someone will pay you for. Every bit of theory in those exams is directly connected to something you'll be doing in a customer's home or on a commercial site. You're not learning for the sake of it. You're building a professional toolkit. The qualification has roughly 1,550 guided learning hours from the gas pathway, 1,400 for the environmental technologies, and 1,572 for the non-domestic plumbing. Big numbers, but you don't do them all at once. You build through the phases, you consolidate, you practice, and you get assessed when you're ready. Let me say a word about the exam format because it matters. Your multiple choice exams are closed book, no notes, no textbooks, just what's in your head. Then the pass mark across all phases is set at 60%. So assessment objectives 1A is basic knowledge recall. It's about 30% of the questions. Assessment objective 1B is understanding principles and concepts is 60%. And AO2, applying your knowledge to real world situations, is about 10%. So the exam isn't just testing if you've memorized facts. It's testing you actually understand what you have learned. That means your revision needs to go deeper than just reading notes. Ask yourself, why does this work? What would happen if I change this? How would I apply this on site? And then there's your portfolio. Your portfolio of evidence units from phase 1 to 3 is not separate from your learning. It's the proof that everything you've studied in the classroom and practiced in the workshop translate to the real world of work. It covers health and safety in the workplace, preparing installations, installation systems and components, fault diagnosis and commissioning. Build it as you go. Every job on site where you apply your skills, that's an opportunity to gather evidence. Photograph your work, write it up, get it signed off. Please don't leave it to the last few months. Start now. So what's the bigger picture? Why does all this matter beyond getting a qualification? Because when you have complete the 9289, you're ready for an endpoint assessment. When you pass the EPA endpoint assessment, you're a qualified plumbing and domestic heating technician at level 3. You can register with the appropriate industry bodies, pursue gas safe registration, if you've done the gas pathway, work in solar or heat pump installation and progress into supervision, design or management. You have a career, not just a job. And here's something that doesn't always get said loudly enough. The trade needs you. The building services sector is facing a massive skill shortage. The shift to heat pumps and renewable systems is accelerating. The demand for competent qualified plumbers and heating engineers has never been higher. You're entering the trade at exactly the right moment. Wherever you are right now, whether you've just started phase 1, in the middle of your journey, or you've got your phase 3 exams coming up, take something from today's episode. The 9289 isn't a mountain you have to climb all at once. It's a pathway, phase by phase, unit by unit, assessment by assessment. Know your structure, understand your phase, build your portfolio from day one, and revise with understanding, not just recall. And come back to the Copper Connection podcast. Over the coming episodes, we are going to be walking through each phase in detail. We'll be breaking down what you need to know, what the exam tests and what the practical assessments cover, and how to get your portfolio evidence sorted. This is your trade. Own it. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Copper Connection podcast. I'm Chris Bailey, and whether you're a plumber in your first year, an apprentice juggling work and study, or a T-level student trying to make sense of it all, I've built this podcast for you. If this episode has helped you understand the 9289 better, do me a favour, share it, send it to a classmate, a mate on site, or anyone you know who's starting out in building services. It costs nothing and it could make a real difference to somebody's journey. Don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, so you never miss an episode. And head over to the copperconnectionpodcast.co.uk for revision resources, episode notes, past scripts, and everything else we're building to help you get qualified and get on. Coming up on the Copper Connection podcast, we're going to do a deep dive into phase 1, health and safety pipework, scientific principles, and system layouts. Everything you will need to know your first set of assessments. You will not want to miss it. Until then, keep learning, keep grafting, and keep connected. I'm Chris Bailey. This has been the Copper Connection podcast, and we will see you in the next episode.
We'll be back next week. In the meantime, please subscribe and thanks for listening.